Welcome back to Spector Creative, and boy, shocker, we're talking about toy collecting. Now, I am personally a toy maker and a toy collector. I collect by brand, like Marvel Legends, or by IP, Indiana Jones, even though you'd think I'd buy more Indiana Jones figures being such a fan. I'll also collect by character. I like Shazam, Captain Marvel, I like Doctor Doom, or sometimes if toys aren't made, I'll even, break down and customize my own because, everyone needs a shelf of Savage Dragon action figures. All right, come on, somebody make these already. All right. Well, one brand that I don't talk about as much on this channel is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that's a little surprising because I am a, well, I guess what you would call a lifelong Ninja Turtle fan. I mean, I was born in the 70s and they didn't come out until the 80s, but I was there from, Playmates day one. And yeah, this is actually, I dug this up the other day when I was cleaning. I was going through my old Ninja Turtle toys and I found this photograph in the bin. I was like, oh wow, I can't believe I forgot about this the way I used to display them when I was a kid. And that got me thinking, why am I not buying more turtles as an adult? I mean, I do own Ninja Turtle action figures. I've gotten various versions from Playmates, from, oh gosh, I mean, there's like so many companies making them these days. But I don't own a huge adult collector line of turtles. I mean, I have some of my vintage figures that I display around my house, like in my bathroom. I have all these, aquatic characters, and Ray Fillet is part of that. And on my kind of, like my old villain shelf, there's some Mauser robots, if you will. So there tends to be a sprinkling of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles throughout my collection versus a, direct large line. So, Marvel Legends versus Ninja Turtles, I own way more Marvel Legends. All right. Yet I was a Ninja Turtle kid growing up. I really wasn't a Marvel kid until the 90s. Now, other brands like Star Wars, I'm all in. I'm buying everything 3 and 3/4. And, classic trilogy, that is. I should state that. I'm not as much into the Disney movies. I like to recreate my childhood. And that's kind of what this is all about, is why am I all in on Star Wars, but I'm so picky with Ninja Turtles when they were both such a huge part of my childhood? All right, let's take a quick trip to the toy aisle. Not this toy aisle, this toy aisle. There's a lot of choices for Ninja Turtles these days. I mean, no less than 5 different toy companies are making Ninja Turtles, and that's a lot of form factors. The one that's probably the most adult collector, of course, is the Super 7 figures that are part of their Ultimates line, which they've expanded to lots of different brands across pop culture, which is really cool. I think toys should all live together. You'd think that this would be the ideal toy line for someone like me to collect. I had the toys as a kid, and wouldn't I want the, adult collector version that comes with more accessories? All the accessories get all the paint jobs and deco hits that the old figures didn't get, and, alternate heads. It's a ultimate version. I mean, gosh, I have Ray Fillet in my bathroom. You'd think I'd want the adult collector version of Ray Fillet for my office, for my collector shelf, right? It makes total sense. It feels like there should be, a direct connection there. Yet, I don't own any NECA Super 7, or I'm sorry, well, actually, yes, I don't own any NECA or Super 7 Ultimate figures. Now, with Super 7, some of it comes down to the fact that they tend to go on sale, years later, and I know a lot of people hold out. But I have had some bad experiences ordering Super 7 product. I got the Robin Hood figure, part of their Disney wave of Ultimates, and it wasn't what I was expecting for a few reasons. One, I thought I was getting 2 Robin Hoods, both the Stork version and the regular, because if you look at the piece count image they sent out, God, the way I read this is there's 2 Robin Hoods. I mean, it's one Alice with 2 heads, one large hippo character with 2 heads, one larger Mad Hatter with 2 heads, but Robin Hood is shown with both bodies. Well, not only did only one body show up, but the head snapped off after about 10 minutes. So compared to other toy lines that I collect from Hasbro and Mattel, I kind of was a little disappointed. All right, the other reason for Super 7 is the scale. They're 7-inch figures. Now, most of my toys are 6-inch. I do own some 7-inch. Masters Universe Classics was 6.5-inch, and that's just the thing. You can go half an inch, but once you go a full inch, you're looking at a Marvel Legends versus Marvel Select Iceman there, by the way, and the Iceman on the right there is a good full inch bigger. This can kind of work with oversized figures sometimes, but you really can't go more than half an inch. Once you go a full inch bigger, toys are no longer in scale. So the Super 7 figures, being 7-inch figures, aren't really in scale. But still, this doesn't add up because I should be the target audience, right, for Ninja Turtle figures aimed at the adult collector. I grew up with the brand. I've watched, all the movies. I've worked on Ninja Turtle product professionally. So why do I own so little product from this? Well, what I think it does is comes down to collect versus play. Looking at this photo, and this is what got me interested in making this video, I realized I never played with my Ninja Turtle toys. I only collected them. They came out at the kind of end of my childhood, where I had already moved beyond the play aspect of toys. And I had now migrated into the adult collector play pattern of collecting. I mean, kids can collect too, but the power of play is so emotionally driven. When you engage children actually playing with toys, sure, they might grow up to be adult collectors, but the benefits that they're going to get emotionally are so much bigger. With acquisition, I mean, kids do, collect things, marbles, rocks, pennies. That's a great play pattern, but it is not true play when you're actually engaging with the product, creating imaginary or, open-ended play, which is the technical term for that. Very healthy, and it creates such a stronger emotional bond, which is why I realized, wow, yeah, I love Ninja Turtles, but I never actually played with Ninja Turtles. I just collected them. I bought them, I put them on my shelf. And that's why today, when you look at my office, I have tons of toys and tons of collections of specific brands. But for Ninja Turtles, it really comes down to just a small sprinkling of mostly the figures I had as a kid and a couple modern toys, just decorating my office, not actually being actively collected. What do you guys think? Do you have any Toy Lines IP that you don't collect, but you were into as a kid and not sure where that disconnect is? Love to hear about it in the comments below. And thanks as always for sharing these videos. It's the best way to support this channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again.